Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Nikki here, and today I just wanted to explain how I fixed a little problem that I came across yesterday. I've decided to do the Dear Julie March Junk Journal Challenge because it is a scrap stash junk journal challenge. I have a ton of scrapbooking supplies that aren't being used, so I decided to participate in this challenge. And of course, I decided I had to make a vintage botanical themed journal. So I got off to a flying start. I used my scraps and a piece of cardboard to create my cover because we have to have a hard cover for this one. And I'm so happy with how it turned out. And that was just all done with scraps, and I went, fabulous. This is great. We're going to go have a great time doing this. Then I came across two problems yesterday. One of the things we have to do for this challenge is use a paper pad. And I went through my stash and I found this lovely one called Vintage Escape. Now I know on screen this all actually looks whiter and brighter than what it is. It's actually a lovely creamy, a dirty cream sort of colour. I love the papers in this. And I thought a lot of this would make fantastic backgrounds for vintage botanical sort of thing. But every paper pad I own has this problem. White backs. And not just white, soft white, it's bright white. And I'm thinking, this is just, I don't know what I'm going to do, because every time you turn a page, it's going to be bright white. And I was concerned about doing full-on coffee dyeing because I really didn't want to lose all the pretty prints and things and have it all go super dull. So I ummed and ahed and thought about what I could do, and I don't know, I thought, I'll try and find a solution. If I have to, I will coffee dye these papers. I thought, okay, fine. Then the next thing we had to do was create these, what she calls shape shifter things. You grab 6 pieces of scrap paper, you create a shape, you cut that shape up, and then you patch them all together. Now, I didn't even think about this when I started making this. I just grabbed my box of stash of scraps and I started making the cards and actually finished the cards. But guess what? Have a look here. Can you see? Bright white. What colour's this background? Bright white. This one's at least not quite so bright white, even though it does look it on the camera. This one was okay because at least it was just coloured. But can you see? When I had finished making my tags, and I didn't even think about it until they were completely finished, and they took me a little while, I went, oh my gosh, I see white. Lots of white. And white, and this is not going to match. What am I going to do? So what I did, I made a shot of coffee in a mug and I grabbed some brushes. Now I put a couple of big garbage bags down on my kitchen bench, and so what I did, I didn't completely immerse my papers, so this side still looks fantastic and original. Now this one of course was quite dark, so that one's fine. But as you can see, I haven't lost my patterns. All I did with these large sheets of paper was I dipped my sponge into my coffee and simply quickly painted the coffee on. Now, when it first went down, it was very stripy. I'm thinking, oh, I don't know if I like this. But it absorbed into this paper really quickly and it turned out quite even. And it's not outrageously dark, but let's be honest, compared to that, that's a much better colour. And of course, it certainly goes with that a lot better than bright white does. And look, I think I could fit, I did 8 at a time. They dried within a few minutes because it's lovely and warm here in Brisbane in southeast Queensland where I am. And then I quickly did some more. But I was so happy with how they turned out. And they dried very quickly because literally they just had a very light coat on them. Some of them, there must have been some coffee left over from yesterday's morning's attempt to do some coffee dyed paper properly. But I don't mind if they look, you know, if there's some little marks on it. I think that actually ages them and looks really cool. So that was that. And then here are my little tags that we had to do. So you cut out pieces and then you take one piece from each pile and you put them back together. Now, all I did with these, I had already made the tags, glued the tags. They were completely dry. All I did was I grabbed my lovely soft paintbrush, dipped it very gently into some coffee and just painted it over the top. And I don't know if the camera's really going to show this difference up well enough. Oops, and there it rolls off. But can you see? Have a look at this. This is probably the best example. Can you see this now has, you know, a lovely tone to it compared to the bright white? So there you go, guys. If you have any scrapbooking or paper supplies that are modern and bright white and you want to give them a bit of a vintage feel, all you have to do is paint them with coffee. Don't have to dip them in completely and all that sort of stuff. I literally just painted on the tiniest bit, but I am so happy with how these turned out. They look aged, and that's exactly what we're trying to achieve with vintage. And I got to use up some scraps, and best of all, I didn't have to remake them. I honestly thought, oh no, Nick, you're gonna have to sit down, go through your stash, find a heap of things and start all over again. And I really didn't feel like doing that. So there we go. If you have anything that you want to give a bit of a vintage feel to, a little bit of coffee and a brush will do the trick. I'm sure this would work with some strong tea as well if you wanted to try that. But I'm a big coffee drinker. I'm always making coffee, so there's no shortage of that in this house. So there we go. So I have solved my little problem. And I now have my tags ready. I still have to embellish them, but I wanted to show you them and just show you how well it worked out and how easy this is. And it's certainly something you can try. So there we go. Bright white, be gone. I now have vintage tone tags, which I think suit my cover so much better. So there we are, quick little tutorial. Hope you maybe will find this helpful one day. If you have something in your stash and you want to make it vintage, get the coffee out. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're not already a subscriber to my channel, I would love it if you joined the Fat Crafty family. I do planning videos and all sorts of paper crafting fun. And if you enjoyed today's video, I would love it if you hit the thumbs up button. So until next time, take care, happy crafting, and stay safe. Bye for now.